This is a new sound. It's so beautiful. I found this with going with my friend Gaia around, visiting places, and it was this beautiful plant garden store where it was these bells, and I love the sound of this one. So I have a new tool about sound that I love. It's nice, huh? Wow, it's so nice. So I just made a peach nectarine clafoutis, and it smells so good. So don't ask me for a recipe. Go and Google clafoutis, and you will have all the ingredients and how to do it. And you create your own thing. You just be curious and create your own version of it. It's I don't measure anything, so I don't have recipe. I do clafoutis with any kind of thing. You can do salty clafoutis with zucchini as well. It's really good, zucchini, olives, and feta cheese, and you can do a lot of things like that. I also wanted to tell you, because a lot of people ask me about skin protection for the sun. I don't put a protection for the sun. I don't put sunscreen. But I explained that in a video at the beginning, like 3 years ago, that the food you eat is your natural protection. The food what you put in your body gonna protect you from the sun. Colorful greens, vegetables, a lot of fat, healthy fat. Fruits and veggies that has colors. And this really helps you. And also, I don't stay days in the sun. I stay half hour a day if there is sun. So it's also moderation. And if I have to stay longer in the sun, I cover myself with linen, white linen. I don't stay very, very long time in the sun. And you can protect yourself with white linen, a beautiful kaftan, or a shirt and a beautiful light trouser in linen and a hat, and you are protected. And the reverberation gonna make you suntan on the face. So after that, you can there are some natural essential oil that have the 15 protection in this protector that is Egyptian wild carrot seed and red raspberry. These, and you can check online, be curious, and you put essential oil, organic essential oil for sun protection, and you will see. And after you're gonna choose what you feel resonates for you. It's for that. Be curious. You have an amazing tool now. So go and put the information you want to know. And after you read, you take time to read, to go from one to another. And sometimes you're going to be tempted to click on something else. And maybe by that, you're going to have an answer to something else that you were wondering some time ago. I do like that, and it's magical. So this is what I'm using after I use oils for the body. Like when I took my shower, I love to use argan oil. It can be olive oil, it can be any kind of oil, hemp oil, or a mix of oil that I do myself. Don't ask me for my mix of oil because it changes all the time. I don't know the proportion. Like when I cook, I just do what I feel in the moment. So try to be to let you inspire in the moment. Try to follow the flow of things that comes to your mind. Oh, I'm going to do that. And then finally you start to do something. And suddenly something else comes to your mind. And you say, oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to try to do that. Because when you do that, it's like you show your higher self that you are ready to investigate, to create, because we are creator beings. So, but this you have to, and the creation comes from the spiritual level, from the invisible side of yourself. So when you show, when you engage something and you say, okay, I'm going to make my oil mix for the body, and you're going to start, you already investigated, you bought some, maybe you bought some argan, and you're going to mix with some sesame, or with sesame oil. Actually, it's very covering. So I think for me, it's an oil that is really good, like pomegranate seed oil. They are very thick. Also, castor oil, that is ricin in French. Castor oil, and these oils are great when you go, for example, at the beach. You put this, and like this, the water, the salt water, are gonna slide on you. And if you don't have a shower, because me, I don't like really to stay a long time with the salt after it's sticky in your clothes. So if you don't have that, when you have some oil on your skin, after it's sliding when you get out of the salt water. So be inventive. And it's also nice to have, some lubrification on the skin, because it can be like me here in the desert, it's very, very dry. So I take my shower early morning outside, and after, when I'm still wet, humid, I put this oil, and it's helped me to go through the day. And sometimes in the afternoon I have to put some more oil because it's really, really dry. Also, there are 2 creams. Body cream, face cream. One is body cream, the other one can be used for anything. And I spoke about this some years ago, and I'm gonna tell you again about this. When I travel sometimes for a couple days or some days, I don't bring all my bottle of oils and everything, but I have a small mix of oil for my face, and or for my body, just a tiny bottle. And I have this always with me, Egyptian magic, because this you can use for everything. So when people don't know how to make their mix, how to do, you can take this base and you can put maybe some lavender oil and mix with that, or some essential rose oil, or any kind of scent you like. You can do that. But take care, don't put citrus, because you cannot go to the sun with citrus essential oils. But this Egyptian magic, I will write in my presentation. It's really convenient because it's useful for everything. I had, a little bit on my hair this morning. I'm going to do my shampoo tomorrow. So this evening I'm going to put castor oil on my scalp all night. And tomorrow I'm going to do my shampoo. So it's for that they are a little bit greasy, because I also massage my face with Egyptian magic yesterday evening. And when I massage, I do like that. So I do like that. So my hair I touch as well. And I love to do that. I feel my skull. I feel the bones of my body, and it gives me a better consciousness of the volume of my body, of my head. And in the same time, I imprint this movement, and I feel the muscles, and I feel the resistance. And I massage like that, and I go down in the lymphatic system. And I do that. I start with the corner of my nose here with my finger, under my eyes. I have these ones that are working under the chin, and these that are working on the angles and here. And I do this. I am like spousing, I don't know you say this in English, my face, my contour, face contour. And I go up to there, and after I go down here. And I do this like maybe 10 times, 12 times. And after I do the forehead, and I massage my eyebrow. This for me is amazing. I love to pinch my eyebrow like that. It's really a good feeling when I do it. And I also put my finger under my above my eyes, because I'm quite a little bit puffy here in the corner. I have some fat under the eyelid inside. So this white thing, it's fat. So it's feeling really, really good. And I do that, and I do that. And I love this one. And I go like that. So you can use Egyptian magic to do that. It feels really, really good. And you do, because here I have that, but I do up to my breast and my arm, and I feel great. So this is one thing. The other cream that I love, for example, when I have a shooting and I want to have a really beautiful skin, it has been given to me by Josie Maran team. It's Josie Maran body butter with argan oil. It's whipped with argan oil, and this is really, I really love this one. So it's, but it's not something I use all the time. You know, it's really like, I keep it for when I have, it's a color, it's not colored, it's white. It's like whipped, very soft, and the texture is really, really nice. It's really a nice cream. And after, I forgot to bring it, but I have also the cream like the Saint Yazimina, the perfume. So you have, but I don't have anymore. So, and this is also something you can use. But me, I'm not systematic. I don't use every day the same thing. And what I prefer is my oils. But this can be really helpful for you. This one, there are small cans. I always have one in my bag, a tiny can of that, of Egyptian magic. You have a smaller can, so when you travel, it's really good. And you can put on your hair, you can put on your lips, you can put as lubricant as well. It's really an amazing product. So this is what I wanted to share with you, because I have a lot of requests. I guess it's because it's summer. So many people wonder, they go at the beach and all, and they wonder what to do for their skin. So me, I'm not really, I do a scrub myself. I do a scrub, I make a scrub with very fine sugar and olive oil and ginger, fresh ginger that I grate. And I love this kind of scrub for my face or my body. And that's it. There is nothing, you know, and my hair, I put castor oil. Once a week I try. So I put castor oil, but as I use a lot of oil, my hair can be like that, a little bit greasy as well. But, you know, castor oil is really good because it gives to the scalp a drainage for the blood. It brings, you know, it makes the blood flow. So this can bring the nutriment for your hair. So these are very simple things, and it's not expensive. And you can do a mix. I do sometimes a mix with castor oil, hemp oil, and argan oil, and olive oil. This kind of mix, it's a little bit thick, pomegranate, and some essential oil. But I love it. It's really nice. So this is something I wanted to share with you. And what else? Yeah, I have new friends now here. I don't know, maybe you saw them. I have this beautiful snake coming. Now it's now today. Just earlier he was on the patio. He's really elegant, really light pink, and his head has some brown color, tiny, very elegant. Oh! I cannot believe there is a bobcat now here. Look, I don't know if you see it. Look. You see? I hope you see. It's fantastic. It just went on the patio. Wow. Oh, we're gonna wait to see what he's doing. He's there. I hope you see. Oh, it's fantastic. He's hunting. He stops now. He saw something. I don't know if I open the door. Maybe he's gonna be scared. He's hearing. Let me see if I can go. Oh, he's watching me. Do you see? I'm gonna move the screen. He's watching me. Do you see? Oh, it's fantastic. It's the first time I saw him on the... Oh, the rabbits are running. The bobcat is after them. Oh, look, he's there. Oh, I'm amazed. He's right there. It just pee on a piece of grass. Yeah, it's really fantastic. So let me close this door because it's hot outside. So, as I told you, I have new friends. I have this beautiful snake coming now, and I have Oscarine who let me her baby. So now I don't see Oscarine anymore, but I have which one? The one I call Baby Monster, because he's scared of nothing. He's like totally at ease. Yesterday he came on my lap because I had food in my hand. I cannot believe this one. And he has another attitude. I think it's a male because he has this beautiful blue tail feathers color. And I know that in the birds very, very, very often the males have more beautiful colors than the females. And this one is a very beautiful blue tail. And he's like adventurous, and he's there every day. 3 times a day he's coming. He's really amazing. So yeah, there are a lot of I have a lot of followers who are also telling me that they go through big changes and it's not easy, and yeah, it's a very, very, very challenging time. I was also seeing yesterday that the solar flare are very, very strong. So this is affecting us. You can have headache. You can have pain in the body. You can maybe feel with anxiety or this kind of things. So no, have in mind that things are moving a lot in the cosmos, I can say, and on the planet. And it's manifesting by all what we see. We are shifting on a new vibration, I can say. So everything is shifting, and we cannot go on something new with the old things not brought to the surface. So it's what we are seeing now. And I was watching, I've not seen the movie yet. I was expecting this movie since many years, Sounds of Freedom, and I'm gonna go I think this coming week to see this movie. I see that people are shocked. A lot of people didn't know about this child trafficking. I'm really surprised, and I have the feeling some people still don't believe it, because it's so awful that it's really hard for them to face this terrible thing. But it exists, and this exists in the night of time. Children, babies have been sacrificed in the last of time, and worse than that, things really terrible. So I think it's time that this be revealed to end that. We cannot be a civilized society or a race if we perpetuate these things. And I spoke about that in previous video, but I'm not telling about religion but what I'm telling is that there is someone 2,000 years ago who initiate this change, who initiate to stop sacrifice. Jesus Christ. So, and for me it's an energy. He was in a way a revolutionary. He was in a way a rebel to the system that was in place, to the religious system that was in place. And for him it was no point to anymore do sacrifices, that it be animal or that it be of human beings, for sure. So it changed, for example, the circumcision to the baptism with water. And this for me always made sense because we are made of water, and being baptized with water, it's like making alliance with the elemental as water. That is an entity. That is the entity we need all to survive. So being baptized with water is like the alliance with water outside of us, to be a layer with inside of us, and it's a very sacred ritual. And it happened that it's Jesus who brought this, we requested to be baptized by Saint John the Baptist, and because this resonated in him as something right. And this has been a big change more than 2,000 ago. So it was for me a first step toward abolition of sacrifices by the blood. And this is what we are now. We are uncovering this at another level, like by chance. The actor in this video is the one who did the Christ, the Passion of the Christ, Jim Caviezel. And the amazing thing is that his initials, I saw this in an interview with him and Tim Ballard some couple of years ago that I discovered on YouTube, the interview before they started the movie. And he was saying that the amazing thing is that he has been requested to do this movie when he was 33 years old, and his initials are JC. So it has been, I discovered in that video. I encourage you to search for that because it's really, really interesting. It's an interview. I don't have the link, but you search Jim Caviezel and Tim Ballard interview, and you search before 2018 or 20, and it was before they started the movie. So it should be like 2018, 19, something like that. I think they started in 2019. And he explained what happened to him on the set of the Jesus Christ Passion film. And you will be shocked. You will be really surprised. Because in a way he lived in his flesh, in his own flesh, a kind of passion being on the cross. So this is something that also I wanted to speak about this with you, because I'm gonna go now in something that can seem totally surreal. I have my friend Natalie, who is bioenergetician. She's working, with people with private session, but she's working also with lands. She has this connection with lands since very young. And this make me always, when I started to be in touch with her and when I saw the work she was doing, I reconnect immediately. I link that immediately with what my friend, astrologer Jean-Paul, more than 30 years ago, told me about the interrelation between us as human beings and all creature, a live creature on the planet that can move, and the land. We are not birthing in a certain place by chance. At the soul level, we choose this place where we want to birth, but it's like a collaboration with the land that is also needing us to be there on that land at this specific time. So in the field, in the invisible, everything is perfectly orchestrated. So this is something that is quite interesting, because yesterday, I was speaking with one of my friends who is devastated because she is diagnosed with breast cancer. So we had a live video together for 2 hours, because she said, please, I would love to speak with you. I say, sure. And I took time for this, and we spoke. And she did her own analysis. And she, through, questions and witness of some of my personal experience, because I had, when I was in my mid-30s, a beginning of cancer of the tube of the uterus. And for me, it has been a revelation, because I immediately understood why my body was putting my attention on that part of my body for me to, in a way, make the link with something that was not aligned for myself, with my higher self, in my relationship life. And I connected immediately. It was not a question of being punished by something that was not right for me to be in this relationship. It was just that I was going against, I would say, my integrity, in a way, by interest. And I had to face this of myself, that is like facing my shadow. So I was not aware of that. I was not aware that I thought I was in love with this man because I was in love with him. But in fact, I was in love with this man because he was bringing to me everything I was dreaming of. And I was just interested. Trips, beautiful hotel, restaurant, and like a luxury life that I never had. So I had to face this. And when I connected, because this was very interesting, I spoke about that in some of the video. I went to see for my yearly exam, my gynecologist, and everything was right. And I was in this strange relationship at distance, and sometimes we met, and so we had this intimate relation, but I was persuading myself in a way that I was in love with this man. And in fact, 2 months after my exam, something came, like I had no pain, I had no discomfort, but inside, it's like a message or a voice or something new inside of me. It was my higher self, that something was not right anymore there. So I called my gynecologist. At that time, it was no email, nothing like that, no text. And I said, something is not right down there. And she said, no, I just saw you, everything is fine. I said, no, I feel something, I have no pain, something is not right. So she said, okay, come. And I went, I did the examination, and she called me back when she had the result, and she said, we have to do surgery immediately because there is this very severe dysplasia, and we have to take this off. So I was not scared. I said, okay. My gynecologist was also really, really, she was an amazing woman at the psychological level. She used the right word to don't scare, but to also be very firm on what was to go and what to do. So I had the laser surgery. It was painful. And she told me, you will have 4 years of examination now, serious examination, like 4 times a year. And I said, okay. But when I'm connected, why my body was like that, asking me to put my attention on that part of my body, I immediately relate, and I immediately saw where I was at cause of my situation. And when I had the surgery and I made the connections, I had the insight, I knew that I will never be concerned by that anymore. I said, okay, I'm going to do the examination that I did, but I knew it was done and it will not come back because I faced myself and I resolved the conflict. I had clarity about my behavior that was not respecting the integrity of my essence. So when you go against your nature, because for me, integrity is very important. integrity with friends, integrity in a couple life, integrity in relationship is very important. But this was going against my integrity with myself. So my body, gave me the message. I must say that before that, I had other very strong, painful situation, body experiences where I was already trained to understand that process, because that was nothing to see with cancer, but very strong thing in my body related to the psychological level, to the physical, and I could see the interaction in between both of them. So I've been trained to be aware of this, to realize the connection and to know, but I never been so deep. So yesterday we had this discussion, and finally she said, yes, I really know what I have to change in my life, but I don't do it. I need to have courage to do it, because I don't want to hurt the person, because I say, yeah, but look where you are now. You cannot do that to yourself. You have to do what is right for you. And this is something that I always told everybody in my video. Don't be scared to be selfish. Do what is right for you, what feels good for you. Because if you don't, your body gonna bring you back on track by any means. So you have really to take care of yourself. You really to do what is right for you, and go against fear of losing, fear of hurting, because you never know. We are all interactive in the field, in the invisible field. So maybe that other person, if it's about a relationship, is needing that you end the relationship. Because maybe that other person has to go on something else as well and is unable to. So there is 50-50 in a relationship. It's not one has all the responsibility and not the other one. And you can also end a relationship. And after, this doesn't mean that it's no more relationship at all. It can be a different kind of relationship. So don't be scared to do what is right for you, because nobody's going to do it at your place. So this is very, very important, because your health is it can be in jeopardy. Your health is in the balance there. So, because when you don't do what is right for you, you interrupt the flow of life. So it's not living there anymore. It's like poisoning yourself. It's like all these toxins, and your body is going to eat more and more and more. This friend was telling me that 3 years ago, her legs were not able to walk anymore. And I said, wow, your body was telling you on what path are you? Like maybe you have to stop, maybe it's not the right path, something like that. She said, I know. I said, yeah, and you did not listen to that, and you continue. So now you put yourself in this situation. So it's very hard, because there are fears, and there is all this medical future to face and all that, but it's not obliged to be also like that. But what I wanted to say is that, because it's a repetition, she had that 7 years ago. So maybe back of all this, there is a reactualization of something more ancient, more old, maybe transgenerational, maybe something that comes from another time, maybe in utero, maybe from I don't really like the term past lives, because for me we are multidimensional and we live on different dimensions simultaneously. So maybe it's connected to another life experience somewhere. Now I'm going to give you a very strange personal experience. When the confinement started, suddenly, without any stress to my body, without any wrong accident or anything, suddenly I had a very, very, very strong pain at one vertebra. one vertebra. So I was wondering, what is this thing? What my body is telling me? What is going on there? I've been online. I searched for this vertebra in Chinese medicine. I discovered that it's called the Gate of Felicity. So I said, this is interesting. I discovered also, searching on medical, like the embryo formation, that it's the one that is, after that vertebra, they're going to build one on the top, one on the bottom, one on the top, one on the bottom, like that. So, wow, this is quite interesting. It brings me back to the origin of my spine. But the pain was there. And I had a session with one of my friends in France at distance. She's also a bioenergetician healer. She was my song teacher in France. I was doing lyric song, and I was used to have healing session, energetic session with her when I was there. So I was in touch with her like by chance. There is no accident. We were not in touch since some years, and I was always thinking of her. And one day, beginning of the confinement, I received a message, an email from her, supposedly from her, telling me, I need your help. I am not feeling good. Can you help me? And I was like, this is quite weird, because it's not her way to be in touch with me. So what I did, I contacted her by FaceTime. And she said, I'm so happy to hear you. I said, how are you? I said, I got this email. She said, I've been hacked. It's not me. And we started to speak. And I spoke about her in my live, and some people request her contact in Paris to have some, session with her. And we've been in touch more and more. And she said, what can I do to help you? I say, I have something that is like there since a couple of weeks. I don't know what it is, because I'm searching. I don't know. My vertebra is so at pain. She said, okay, we can do a session at distance. So I lie down, and she said, I will call you when I finished. I knew how she was working. I saw her working on my, subtle bodies when I was in Paris. So I lie down and I waited, and I did not felt anything. And after, she called me back, and she said, this is really strange. I never had something like that. It's like your essence asking me to be on the same point, that point, all the time. Because usually when she works, she's like weaving on your subtle bodies from one side to another, and working with her hands, and like pulling strings and energy and things. She said, no, for 20 minutes I stay on the same point. I don't know. She said, I don't know what it is. It seems to be from so far away, but very far, I don't know. I said, okay. So time passed. I felt a little bit better. And I had this appointment that I took some weeks before having the pain, with Natalie. Finally, my appointment is coming, and I had a good thing to share with her about this pain. So I told her, I said, it's really amazing, because the appointment it's on point, because I don't have that pain when I call you. I just wanted to meet you, because my friend told me about you, and I wanted to have a session with you just to meet you. But now I have something to work on. So she did the session for 1 hour and an hour and a half. And we do this by Skype in video. And it's like a process. If you follow the video with Natalie, you can see how she's bringing the session. It's quite very interesting. And she received messages, and she gave an exercise to do. So we did several exercises. And she explained to me that this pain was coming very far on time, on a dimension of 300,000 years ago, when the human beings on the planet, has been with DNA transformation has been genetically modified, and that a genome has been taken off. And I was in resonance with that memory of these beings. And this was quite amazing because it was exactly at the same time where we were going through the beginning of this sanitary crisis with this genetic modification that is at work. And it was the beginning of that. So I was like advised before that this happened by my body that was crossing multidimensional layers and going to that memory, and this what we were going to live on this time, space and dimension was in fact in echo to the one that was 300,000 years ago. And this is like what I wanted to say. You can find healers, you can work on yourself, you can discover what you have to change in your behavior or in your relationship. But sometimes it's possible that it's a recurring pattern that is beyond your awareness or your comprehension or your consciousness, because it resonates somewhere at the collective level of something that happened or happening right now on another dimension, as we are multidimensional beings and we are like holograms, and it's really difficult to comprehend that if you never had an experience in your body like this. This cannot make sense. For me, when she told me that, it made sense because I have several experiences in my body where I saw that nothing wrong at examination. That pain, nobody could say why I had the pain, because it's an echo with something else that is like a similar situation. And this was making total sense. So when you investigate everything you can, you did all the examination and that, now we have people, we have the ability to help you, to accompany you in bioenergy, and to go in the quantic field and connect eventually to another situation similar that is like coming like in reflection or in echo, in resonance with what you are living. So now we have this tool. Now you have more and more people who are working like that. So it can be really a help. The amazing thing, Natalie did the session, and less than a week after, I had no more pain. So, but the pain to the point I could not stand up. So I could not bend. I could not do anything. When I was walking, stand up, I had no pain. I had the pain when I was coming back from my sleep, from the unconscious. So this was an indication also that it was on another level. Because during my daily activities, I had no pain. So, but I could not practice my yoga in the morning. I could not bend. I could barely stand up from my bed. And it's that. So you have to consider all these options. And if you don't know anyone, I know 3 people. I know 3 people who are doing 3 different techniques, if I can say techniques. It's not techniques, it's ability that they have. And Natalie has something that is very interesting when you have no answer nowhere. Because maybe you can have a small indication, a small detail, something that's going to resonate in you and make sense. Maybe something in your family that is repeating, like by chance at the same date, or same number, or same month, or same, you know, and from generation to generation. But maybe this is coming from more previous much older time. So I wanted to share again this with you, because I spoke a bit about this with you. And also what is going on is that we are in a time of big cleansing. It's the apocalypse. Apocalypse means revelation. So this is happening at the collective level. But this, as it is happening at the collective level, you can see on the planet what is going on. This is happening also individually in our life at the personal, individual level. So it's a time of big changes. It's a time where everything that is not in order or aligned with your integrity has to go. Everything that is not making you feeling good and really deeply feeling that it's right, because you know what something is not right. You know, I knew it in this relationship, but at one level, my ego wanted to persuade me that it was the man of my life. But it was just, I had really to face my shadow. I had to embrace my shadow. And when this has been done, it has been a huge relief beyond what I would expected, because what I discovered when I put the link in between all things and seeing what I was projecting on this man, in fact, that man helped me a lot in rejecting me, because he obliged me to get all these things that I was desiring at my level by myself. And the amazing thing, it was a time I was just starting modeling, but I knew this man since a very, very long time. When I was 18, not even 20, but nothing never happened before. But it was the time I started modeling, and I was fitting model. I was not, I was not a cover magazine model or a top model, not at all. But this man was a photographer, fashion photographer, and he was shooting fashion models, top models that you were seeing everywhere. So a part of me was like wanting to be with him, to have this opportunity to be that kind of models. But you see, I had to face this. But beyond that, the gift I got from that, because I use my intelligence and my emotional intelligence and my clairvoyance and my ability to connect the dots, it has been like a light. Wow, yes. He is a photographer. He's showing me, I'm projecting on him my future, what I want to be, because I do photography since very young. And I always dreamed to be a photographer, but I never allow me to be one. So I project on someone outside of me who was a photographer that desire to be with him, to be intimate with him, to have this intimate relation of integrating him in my body, to be able to reveal that for myself, to be finally the photographer in being. So you see, it's several layers. And the first layers, wow, it's great, I can travel, I have this flying ticket, I can go to this palace and this resort and thing. The second was a little bit underlying, oh, maybe I can become a famous model by him and blah, blah, blah. But underneath, when I was able to see these two layers, the surface, the ego, I've been able, facing that shadow thing, that it's not really beautiful to have this kind of, desires, and to be envy about that. When I was able to face that is when I had the gift to see that it was me. The higher part of myself, my higher self, was in fact creating this situation, projecting on this man, photographer, the image of photographer, having a sexual relation with him to integrate the photographer energy to be able to authorize myself to become photographer. So when I saw that, I was free of the relation. And like by chance, everything changed in my life. I starting to work more and more. I starting to travel for my job as model. I starting to change my modeling career from fitting model to model on pictures, to travel a lot in faraway country, in the most amazing resort or houses and thing, and to do, but it came from by myself, not by someone else. So, and this man, in fact, gave me my freedom by rejecting me, because he was rejecting me. It's me was, after him. But he rejected me. He loved me very much. He always told me I was not understanding that. But it's grace of him that I became independent as I am. And this is fantastic when you understand that. But sometimes the people you are attracted by see in themselves what is attracting you. See what is so strong that you feel like, I have so many messages of very young men who want to marry me, who want to make love with me. I am almost 70 years old. When I feel they are very respectful, and I feel, because I am empathic, so I feel that what is back of that, I give them this information. And they understand very well. And they don't want to marry me anymore or to have sex with me anymore, because they understood. And I asked them, what do you like in me? What is besides the physical aspect? What is attracting you in me? And all of them, without exception, say the same thing: your freedom. And this, your way to be free, your way to, that everything is possible, your way is what they like. I say, yeah, it's because you want to express that for yourself. And you're going to make it, because now you identify that. You are not obliged to have sex with me to be able to be like that. You can be right now like that, because what you see in me, it's something that is inside of you, asleep, waiting to be awakened. So it's really fantastic. It's really fantastic. And I see someone who say, I want to give you an advice. I never give advices. I witness about my experiences. I give information, but I'm not in the skin of anyone else to give to someone an advice. Because giving an advice would mean that I know better than the person what is right for herself or himself, and I can't. You have to know what is right for yourself. You can get information. This is very important. Information, it's to put formation in formation, something that you take in that's going to give formation. So this is very important. And you can use your imagination, but as I said all the time, it's image in action. It's you have to use your imagination to go in action, to put image in action, to put what you can think, imagine, and put it in action. It's up to you. Nobody gonna do it for you. And this is the beauty of our creator process. It starts from the invisible realm. You have to be aware that you are more than this physical body. And this is also something that is imperceptible, that people are attracted by in me. I am aware of this. I don't know how it is because I am in a physical body. But I am connected to my invisible body, my invisible side, my invisible higher self. I got messages. I am in touch with this invisible part of me. I feel guided, I feel directed, I feel protected because I am aware that this exists without knowing how it is, but we cannot see how it is because it's invisible. But I am totally aware of it. And this is the magic of life. And I don't know how to explain that, but what you don't see, what is around you, invisible, it's not it's invisible, but it's not void. It's really all the field, and we are all connected there. We are all interactive, and time and space doesn't exist the same way as on our dimension here. It's all connected. A desire you have at a moment, maybe it will take 10 years, 15 years, 20 years to have something coming in your life to be able to express, to live this desire. It's really a fascinating process. And I was not supposed to share this with you, but have this in mind. We are in a time of revelation. We are in a time, very amazing time of putting to light all the things that doesn't have to exist anymore, because it's obsolete, because it's not high, it's not noble, it's not, I could say, beautiful to about all this deviance, all what is going on with all this human trafficking. It's not noble of human race that become like, we cannot continue to be like that. It's not possible. And all this in the name of money. You see, so we have to face this thing, and we have to don't deny that this exists. Like I said before, some people don't want to face that, so they don't want to face, so they say this isn't true. Me, I know this since very, very long time, because when my son was very little, I lost him at the farmer's market in the suburb of Paris. I let his little hand just to pay, and suddenly it disappeared. And I was in panic, because it was just the thing with this pedophile ring in Belgium at that time. I was like, so I've been really taking care of that with my kids when they were very little, because I knew that these things were happening. But you never know the shape it's going to take. So you really have to be aware, and to also tell your children, tell them. And it's not for them to be afraid of strange people, but they have to know that there is these difficult things that can happen. They have to know. So this is what I wanted to share with you. I know the French people are going to say, we want to have the translation, we want to do it in French. It's complicated, because most of the people who are listening are from, English language or understand English. It's very hard after for me to do again the same thing, because when I start to speak, I don't know where I'm going to go. It's not prepared. It's not, recorded or that. I'm going to post this on YouTube. And on YouTube, I saw that you can find a way to find a translation. So it's under the screen. There is this little wheel, and you can go there and you can find the translation. It is what it is. It may not be perfect, but you can find translation in several languages. So try to do that. So thank you for listening, and take care of yourself. Really take care of yourself. Go where your heart brings you. Create with your hands. When you don't feel good, try to cherish yourself. Take a bath. Put nice music. Eat something that you cook just for you. Make a drawing. Take color pens, touch clay, anything. Go and collect some stones, go in nature, bath it, even if you are bitten by ants. Like last day, I've been bitten at my foot. It was very painful. Just do that, and this is gonna really, 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 really help you. And don't be scared. Don't be afraid to share your intimacy. Don't be afraid to share your experiences. It can help someone. How many times I travel in these long trips for my work, and I was seated beside someone for 20, 24 hours. And foreign people, we were totally foreign, and we start to speak, and like by chance, we had a kind of similar experiences with our children or in our lives. It's not by chance. In the field, we are connected. And listening to the experience of the person beside me and that person listening to mine and exchanging, first, the trip was very short. And second, we had more options in the situation to face the situation. So share your experiences. We are all storytellers. Storytelling is missing. So nothing can replace the shared experience of someone who lived that thing in his flesh, in the flesh. That is something that has been lived, not something read in a book, but something lived in the body. And it's part of you, it's in your body. So just don't share that. It's gonna help people around you, and you will see how you can feel really good. You have no idea how many messages I receive to thank me. It surprises me all the time because I don't have the feeling that I can be of some help. Not at all. I just speak about what I'm passionate about this human experience that is fantastic. So thank you very much, and maybe at very soon.